Up, 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 up. In the club, pocket dog, hey. Yo, what's good, y'all? I am OMA, one who may ascend, back again for another personality test video. Today, I'd like to know, what is your spirit animal? Based on what you know of me, what would you guess my spirit animal to be? I want to see those in the comment section. Drop them below in the comments, all those guesses. Maybe you've heard me talk about this before. You know, don't blow the spot up for everybody else. Don't ruin it. Spoiler alert. I'm gonna put some time on the clock. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, time's up. I would consider my spirit animal to be an elephant for quite a variety of different reasons. I'm gonna pull out some receipts here. And before I go any further, I just want to clarify what type of elephant. I would consider myself a rogue elephant. Many elephants tend to be very communal, family-oriented, and community-based, and that sort of thing, you know. And I'm good for that. I'm good for good social cohesion, right? But I've just found recently that I tend to, I would say, maybe, I wouldn't even say thrive more, but I just tend to find myself in more environments where, you know, I'm by myself on the individual basis, you know. So nothing against group identity, you know, collectives and everything like that, but it's just the environment that I find myself the most in for quite a few reasons. For one, elephants are neither predators nor prey, right? So I don't know exactly where you would put them on the food chain, you know, but they stand their own. You know, they say that the lion is the king of the jungle. Well, first of all, you know, lions aren't really in the jungle like that. You know, now elephants, you know, they're in the jungle and in the safari, you know, but it would take quite a few lions to take down an elephant, you know, especially on a one-on-one. It's kind of like no chance. But at the same time, an elephant is not going to go out of its way, you know, to attack, you know, predators or prey, not that sort of thing, you know. And even though they are vegetarian, right, you know, they're pretty big. They're pretty big. And I'm not even just talking about, you know, physical attributes, but with regards to the spirit animal, like strong in spirit, you know, steady, you know, especially their big feet just stomping shit, you know. They're especially good at protecting their own. It really reminds me of a lot of different, you know, I don't know if y'all watch nature videos, wildlife videos. They might get their babies being attacked by predators, and they'll stomp them out, you know what I'm saying? They ain't going for that. Doesn't matter where it's crocodiles, alligators, you know, hyenas, lions, tigers, bears. I don't know about bears, but you get the idea. And they're very peaceful. They're very peaceful and calm. They can be trained very well, which kind of goes into another point. Historically, they've been misused as weapons of war. I find that very interesting. That's also something that I deeply resonate with, you know, being mispurposed as a weapon of war. Because it's like we have ideal circumstances and then we have reality, right? And sometimes they compete with each other. And just the state of affairs that the world is in, and probably has been in, and probably continue to be due to human nature, you know. What's the saying? It's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener at war, right? You know, it's like it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So I'm gonna keep that thing on me, you know what I'm saying? To my knowledge, there's nothing like an elephant, maybe in the remote closest, you know, family tree of animals. Maybe you have rhinos, maybe you have hippos, but even still, those are vastly, distinctly different, you know, character traits, attributes, not just physical features, but just, you know, I guess, personality-wise, if you could say that, right? I don't know which one is the largest land animal. I believe it's an elephant, as opposed to a hippo or a rhino. Whereas, despite the size discrepancy, if there is one, hippos may kill more people, than any other animal, with the exception of mosquitoes. Elephants aren't really known for that, right? They're more peaceful, but don't get it fucked up, right? The elephant can still stomp you out. Elephants are incredibly intelligent, perceptive in nature. Even though, with that said, they can still be stubborn and flat-footed, although I like to say sure-footed. I'm quite almost literally flat-footed myself. I've never been a fast runner. If I get into an altercation, it would serve me best to fight instead of running. I'm not a good runner. I think my 40 in high school, I don't even want to say, it was like 5 seconds or something like that. Something like ridiculous. I could catch. I have great reflexes, but I am not the fastest person. So I had to take up, like martial arts classes and everything, because I'm not running. Elephants are generally sociable. They have an incredible memory. They even do what's called the elephant walk. I thought this was, just fictional, purely fictional, when I first heard about this, what's called the elephant walk, for the first time. I think I learned about this when I was going to college at Texas A&M. They do what's called the elephant walk, where they basically like revisit everything in their life, in their history, when they're about to die. They'll like separate themselves from the rest of the pack. And I don't know if it's like every single elephant does this, or if it's just like on occasion or what. I don't know like the science behind this. I'm not like an elephantologist or anything like that. But they'll separate themselves from the pack and revisit everywhere they were in their life, which I find like so interesting, and that can be attributed to their impeccable memory. They're also very thick-skinned, so they could take a joke, right? Any jokes or criticism, I imagine, just rolls right off their back. They have great big ears, tusks, eyes. I think all that, goes into the character of being very perceptive, and also dangerous, and especially, being pachyderms, with their thick skin and everything. It makes sense why they would be used, as weapons of war. And unfortunately, it also makes sense why they would be poached, I guess in theory. All of their natural characteristics are very coveted. They're hunted and poached for their ivory tusks, because nothing else is like them. The only natural predator that they have, of course, is everything else is us humans. Elephants, being in Africa, India, naturally are in environments, where there's a lot of heat. I was born in June, so I myself am a summer baby. I also like snacks like candies and peanuts, ice cream, as I imagine elephants would. Maybe not the ice cream, but there's always that thing where elephants like peanuts, right? And also, in addition to all of this, my favorite color is gray. Gray, just like elephants, right? So that's my take on my spirit animal. If you thought I had a different spirit animal, I'm curious to know why. What made you think that? I want to hear all about it. I also want to hear what you thought your spirit animal is, or what you may have been told that your spirit animal is. But that's my case for why I'm an elephant and why it's the true king of the jungle. So that's what it is. And in addition to these qualities, these characteristics, I also had 3 quick stories here about elephants that just further justify my opinion, for one, there's always that saying, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time, because they're huge, they're massive undertakings, just as I imagine our purpose in life, it should be a massive undertaking, something that you do one step at a time. It's not like something that you just rush, you just run into. Elephants are flat-footed, sure-footed, however you want to put it, and take steps, very gradual progression, right? I'm also reminded of the story of the elephant in chains and ropes. I heard this is a parable, when baby elephants specifically are being broken to be used in the circus. They have to be heavily incapacitated with chains, because there's a lot of fight. There's a lot of fight in that baby elephant, and it's not going to break easily. So it fights and fights and fights and fights, and they keep it in chains, right? And as the elephant grows up, its will is broken. And the adult elephant, having been hindered by the chains for such a long time, can be restrained by just a thin rope, a small rope that it could easily break through, but there's no need, because its will has already been broken. And a full-grown adult elephant could break through virtually anything that you put it in. It can't be restrained with chains, it can't be restrained with ropes or anything like that, but it's a mind fuck. It's a mentality that has broken the elephant, so it always starts young. If your will is broken young, then it's unlikely that mentality is going to be changed as an adult. And then finally, the last parable about the elephants that I'm reminded of, maybe I've told this one before, but it's the story of, I think it was six blind men and the elephant, where the king told 6 blind men. I don't know why you would tell blind men, first of all, that's just the size, but anyways, beside the point, to go and inspect this newfound beast, this new creature, and to determine what its characteristics were. So these blind men are trying to explain to the king, what this creature was like, and because it was 6 of them, and because they're blind, and they were all positioned in a different place on the elephant, they all came to different conclusions. So the blind man that touched the ear of the elephant was like, oh, this elephant is like a fan, because, the ears are floppy or whatever, and then the one that touched the trunk was like, oh, this beast is like a snake, because it was like a anaconda or whatever, and then the blind man that touched the leg of the elephant was like, oh, this beast is like a wall, because it's so sturdy. And then there was a blind man that touched the trunk of the tusk of the elephant, was like, oh, this beast is like a spear. And then there's the blind man that touched the tail of the elephant, was like, the tail isn't too far off from the trunk, but it's different a little bit, so who knows what that man said, so anyways, it just goes to show that, all of these people had a different perception of this elephant, of this creature, just because of how they interacted with it. They came to different conclusions, and I think that's very characteristic, of myself and elephants in general. It's like, if you meet me or even people in a different context, somebody could be totally different in a different context. I think I remember it was like Kurt Cobain, he was getting interviewed, and the interviewer was all like nervous and everything, because he wasn't really too privy in giving like interviews. And then I think Kurt Cobain responded was like, I'm a person, just like everybody else, and people, have moods, you may or may not be going through something at the time. So, just keep that in mind, everything in context, But yeah, that's what I have to say about that. That's why I consider my spirit animal to be an elephant. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of yourself as well below in the comments. Other than that, I'll see you in another video. Do what you do, whatever you do you. After all is what you do best. I'm OMA, one who may ascend. Over and out. Peace, y'all. Stay up. We're going all the way up. Eyes to the sky. Good ascendants, and those of you who are new, I am OMA, one who may ascend, conscious trap metal recording artist. Here on our YouTube channel, you can expect exclusive content, some music, freestyles, vlogs, exclusive behind the scenes, you know, so make sure you turn on your post notifications, subscribe, like, comment, share. You know, this is community, this is about family, this is about all of us. Stay tuned, the best is yet to come. We're going all the way up, eyes to the sky.